Hey everybody, welcome to Night Owl Video. Thanks for tuning in today. A special day today. It is American Thanksgiving and I just wanted to do something different today instead of my usual Fright Friday. So today we are talking about the comedy movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, one of my favorites around this time of year, and maybe yours, I don't know, but today we're going to be talking about it. I couldn't find out tons about this movie, so this review might be a little bit shorter, but I'll try to pad it with some of my favorite memories of this movie and things like that. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Give me the thumbs up if you like this video. Comment below if you've seen this movie, if you love this movie, if you don't like this movie, if you think this movie's overrated. And also follow me over on Instagram at Night Owl Video. So today we're talking about the 1987 comedy film Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I've loved this movie for over 30 years. It's, again, like I said, one of my favorite movies to watch around this time of year. It's a pre-Christmas movie. I can't think of a lot of other Thanksgiving movies. And this one always kind of just suits the time, fits the bill. So yeah, we're going to be talking about this film. This movie obviously stars Steve Martin and John Candy, who you can see on the cover there. I love this movie. Gosh darn it. It is a wonderful movie. Now, this was written, produced, and directed by John Hughes. Stars Steve Martin and John Candy. It also features cameos from a young Kevin Bacon, looking very cute in this movie, as well as somebody you might not know, Edie McClurg. You might not know the name, but you do know that she was the secretary of the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. In this movie, she is an Avis car rental agent, and she is really funny. And also Ben Stein makes an appearance in this as the airplane worker at the airport announcing the flights are all canceled. So a couple little cameos for you there. Probably some of you don't know. Probably know Kevin Bacon, but don't know the others. But I thought it was worth mentioning because they were funny little roles, especially the Edie McClurg role. She plays an Avis car rental agent, and she's just so perfect in this role. I mean, much like she was as a secretary in Ferris Bueller, she's so good in this cameo. So I'll read you the synopsis now, and then we'll get a bit deeper into the film. Easily excitable Neil Page, played by Steve Martin, is somewhat of a control freak, trying to get home to Chicago to spend Thanksgiving with his wife, Layla, played by Layla Robbins, and kids. His flight is rerouted to a distant city in Kansas because of a freak snowstorm, and his sanity begins to fray. Worse yet, he is forced to bunk up with talkative Del Griffith, played by John Candy, whom he finds extremely annoying. Together, they must overcome the insanity of holiday travel to reach their intended destination. That's the end of that synopsis, but I would say, furthermore, this is a story about friendship as well, and unlikely friendship. These two characters are very different from one another. Steve Martin's the uptight marketing executive, and John Candy's playing a character who sells shower curtain rings to hotels. It's never actually spelled out if he actually does that or if he's just like a drifter. I don't really know. They don't really spell it out in the end, I don't think. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Yeah, so they kind of get stuck traveling together. One sort of, oh, I'll get the hotel room tonight. And then, John Candy's like, oh, I'll get us a ride on a pickup truck to the next destination. And so slowly they make it, or do they? I don't know. I won't spoil the ending for you, but it is a John Hughes movie, so you can probably guess that it doesn't have a sad ending. This movie was filmed in 85 short days in various locations around New York. I think there were a few other locations as well. Apparently John Hughes did several rewrites during the filming of this movie, and because of those rewrites and the extra filming, in the end they had 3 hours and 45 minutes of movie, which had to be then chopped down to 92 minutes. So apparently there was I didn't know this until I did my research for this review, but apparently there was a subplot where Steve Martin's wife didn't believe that he was actually trapped traveling with this guy and that he was actually cheating on her or something. I'm kind of glad they didn't use that because I feel like that would have been kind of a dark subplot to go with in this, otherwise kind of fun travel, road trip kind of Christmas, Thanksgiving kind of movie. So I think that would have been a bit too dark subject matter, but I think they filmed scenes about that, and but they were subsequently cut. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this review, this is one of my favorite movies to watch around this time of year, and apparently it is a favorite among many at this time of year, especially Americans, for their Thanksgiving. Although I think it's pretty popular here in Canada as well. Um, the film was released on November 25th of 1987. That was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving of that year. It had a production budget of $15 million and it made a whopping $49.5 million at the box office. The critical response to this film was really positive. I think it has like a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of the critics really liked that John Hughes was trying something different this time. Now, if you don't know John Hughes, he was the one that did like Breakfast Club and 16 Candles and Some Kind of Wonderful. A lot of those like angsty kind of teen 80s drama comedies. And this one was sort of a departure for him. It was more of an adult themed comedy. So he got praise from a lot of critics for kind of stepping out of his comfort zone. And I would agree with them. I think I mean, John Hughes was just a gifted writer, I think, and a gifted director. So I don't think he could have really gone wrong. But like I said, a lot of the critics at the time were like, oh, he's doing something different than these kind of angsty teen dramas. So the film has had many releases on home media. It didn't mention anything about VHS, but it was definitely on VHS, DVD. I think the original DVDs were very bare bones. There was no extra language tracks on it or something. Eventually it did get a bit better. There's even, I didn't know this either, but apparently there's an edition called Those Aren't Those Aren't Pillows edition DVD release. And it also has a very brand new, which I think it was just released this past Tuesday, a 4K edition of this film that includes bonus features, which is, among other things, 75 minutes of cut or lost footage, which was restored for the 4K edition, which just came out recently. So if you're into the 4Ks, that could be a cool edition for you to pick up. I don't do 4K yet. I don't have the money to buy all that TV and player, and the movies are expensive for that matter. So I'm sticking with my good old DVDs. This one I found actually in the $5 bin at Walmart just last week, I think. So as some of you know, I've moved around a little bit in the last couple of months, and I think I have this DVD or Blu-ray at one of the other places where I have some of my belongings, but I really wanted to watch it this week, so I just grabbed the $5, a copy from the $5 bin at Walmart. So you can find this one around. It's a pretty common DVD to find. I don't know a Blu-ray, but I see the DVD all the time. So I'm very sad to report that there was apparently in 2020, there were talks of doing this as a remake with Will Smith and Kevin Hart, but I don't know if that's true or not. I hope it's not. It sounds really awful. As I've said in many of my previous reviews, if anyone in Hollywood is listening, please stop. Just leave these things be as classics. And this one is definitely one of those classics for me and for many other people. So just stop already, okay? I would give this a solid 5 out of 5. I watch this pretty much every year, I think. It's a great film. I don't think I have any complaints about it. Maybe one minor nitpick, and that is actually the scene with the Avis car rental person, where Steve Martin uses a particular expletive about 20 times in about a minute-long rant. I thought that was really out of place in this movie, and I feel like I wouldn't, like, if I had little kids and I wanted to show them a Thanksgiving movie, I couldn't show them this movie because of that, because it's just, the language is really, really over the top, and it feels really out of place. Every time I watch this movie, I think, why did he choose to do that? I don't know, because There's really not a lot of other swearing in the movie that I can think of, and if it is, it's mild. And then there's just this one scene with the Avis car rental person where Steve Martin swears just incessantly for like a minute long rant, and I find it really off-putting. I still find it off-putting. I would say that's my only minor nitpick, but I would still give this a 5 out of 5. I think I can overlook that one long minute thing in this film, because otherwise this film is, to me, is really perfect. It's I mean, you've got two comedy legends here, John Candy, rest in peace, but my God, these two just work so well together. I don't know if they did anything else together aside from this film, but there's the chemistry between them is great. They're really supposed to be like polar opposites to each other, and they play that so perfectly. The comedy's great. The drama's really touching. The ending will, the ending will get you for sure. But I would highly recommend this film. If you've never seen it before, now's a great time to watch it. It's a Thanksgiving movie, as I said several times. But it is just genuinely a wonderful comedy, over the top shenanigans that happen between these two that you just can't believe what they're going through. And like I said, it's about friendship and developing friendships with people that you might not think would develop in that way. Strangers that start off on a bad foot and become friends. So it's really touching. I can't complain. This edition is it's just a bare bones. The special features on here are Getting There in Half the Time, The Story of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, John Hughes for Adults, a tribute to John Candy, and deleted scenes. A deleted scene called Airplane Food. So I haven't watched any of the special features on this yet, but I plan to before it gets too late in the season. But this movie is 92 minutes from 1987. It's rated PG in Canada. I think it has an R rating in the US, but probably just because of that swearing. What else? It's a Region 1 DVD for those who need to know about that stuff. Yeah, great movie. Can't recommend this enough, especially for your Thanksgiving and Christmas season. You could watch it closer to Christmas if you want to. It's still applicable for this time of year. So 5 out of 5 from Night Owl Video. I hope you enjoyed this review of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You can see there at the top it says all flights canceled, and it's about to say you're screwed, which are like references to scenes in the movie. But yeah, love this movie. 5 out of 5. If you like the review, give it a thumbs up. If you've watched this movie, or maybe this is a tradition for you to watch this around this time of year, leave some comments. I love to hear from you about this movie. And I'm making mistakes, right? I'm promising that I'm going to do all these reviews, and then I just don't get around to them, because also of note, I just started a new job, and so I'm really busy with that. And so finding time to do these is getting trickier. I'm going to keep trying to do them, but it's just that, well, I tried to fix my hair and it went worse. I'm going to try to keep doing some. I'd like to do some Christmas reviews in December, but I'm not going to promise anything because just, again, I'm getting too busy. Yeah, tomorrow for Fright Friday, I am doing Black Friday, the movie Black Friday, which came out last year. So I am doing this as kind of a special thing. I do have a couple extra hours here to do these. So I'm doing this for Thanksgiving on Thursday, which I think is the American Thanksgiving Thursday night, or maybe it's Friday. I don't know. And then Black Friday for Black Friday, which is Friday, as well as it's Fright Friday here on Night Owl Video, and Black Friday is a horror comedy. So I'm doing that. So that's coming up tomorrow. So be sure to tune in for that. And until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store, or, just out and about, maybe at a tree lighting ceremony or something. I don't know. But until then, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.